Today we're making pork shoulder, baby. Stay tuned as we make my version of the classic Puerto Rican dish called pernil. So to begin, you want to start by taking a nice sharp knife and do like 20 stabs. Right? And then you take the other side. You want to just do the same thing, a few stabs. That way you can get your marinade incorporated very nicely and it will really soak up that flavor the next day. With a really nice sharp knife, take your time doing this. Just cut some slits into the skin. Ideally you would want to freeze your pork a little bit beforehand so it's easier to work with, but if you have a sharp knife you should be fine. Once you've made your slits, you want to now turn it 90 degrees and then just continue to go the other way with the slits. And we're going to flip it over. Now we'll just whip out a roasting pan, just put it in there, and we'll get started on the marinade. So set up a food processor. If not, you can use a blender, a high-powered blender, whatever works best. Then we're going to start by just chopping an onion just into small chunks. Beautiful. And then we'll just take this into the processor. And so what we're going to add is 1 whole lemon, the juice of a lime, okay, and then the juice of 2 fairly plump-sized oranges. Just gorgeous, so gorgeous. Oh yeah. Right into the food processor. Finally, about 7 to 8 cloves of garlic straight in. You could do a little bit more if you'd like. I like it garlicky. And we're just gonna pulse that down. Okay. And now for the best part, we're going to add our seasonings. We'll start with a little bit of cumin. And then I like to take some paprika, smoked paprika preferably. Just give it a nice smoky flavor. And this is a classic Spanish seasoning, Adobo. I also like to use some thyme. And then I use Chipotle Chile to give it a little bit of a spice. And some coriander. And oregano. A touch of black pepper. And that's all of your seasonings. I also like to do just a tad of brown sugar. Okay, so I'll use about 1/4 cup to really sweeten it. Ideally, that's everything. And we're gonna blend that and add in a little bit of oil as we blend. Okay, and now this step is completely optional, it's up to you, but I prefer a nice little Goya Sazon. It gives it great flavor, and again, this is what a lot of abuelas love to use. So I'll put a full packet in there, that's my preference, it's not necessary. You could just add some salt. This plus the adobo is pretty salty, so you know, if you're using Sazon, I would go light on the salt to taste, you know. And that's basically everything. So now I just like to pour this right over the pork, just like that. It's a beautiful marinade. And just rub it in there, sort of massage the pork, and just those holes we poked before, just try to sort of push it in, you know? And that is just beautiful. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna cover this and marinate it overnight. So, what you want to do is get your oven to approximately 300 degrees. So let's let that come to room temperature while we wait for it to preheat. I'm just going to flip it so the skin side is up. This marinade is pretty thick, so what we're gonna do is add a cup of water to it. Take a little bit of tin foil. You wanna cover it really nice and tight. Now the oven is preheated, we're just gonna put it in the center of our oven. Just like that. We'll set a timer for 5 hours. So after every hour and a half, 2 hours or so, you want to baste your pork. That way the flavor from the marinade can really seep through those slits we cut yesterday. It's actually been 4.5 hours so far. We're gonna stop the clock and take our lovely pork out. So let's take a look. Oh baby, this is my favorite part, just peeling that tin foil off and just seeing the beautiful product. For the last 30 minutes, what we're gonna do is raise the heat to around 375 so we can get a nice crust on this skin. As you can see, there's a lot of fat on the top. If you would really like, you can take a spoon and sort of try to get that out. I'm gonna leave it in just for the sake of leaving it in. And what I like to do is just ladle out at least half of the liquid that's already in here. That way when we crisp up the skin, we don't have too much liquid in there to create steam. And that's perfect, that's just enough. And what we're gonna do with this leftover liquid is we're gonna make a sauce. We're gonna throw it right in there. Get a pan nice and hot. Take like a solid teaspoon of butter. By weight, you want about equal parts of flour. What we're doing is called making a roux. You want to take a whisk and just mix it together. And what this is going to do is thicken that liquid. Once you do that, you're going to slowly add in the liquid. Bring that up to a boil again. I like this thickness. And what I'm going to do is take my pan, get a strainer, and over this low heat, strain that right in there. You don't have to strain it, but I just personally prefer to. And so it may not be the exact thickness of a sauce, but that's not what we're going for. We don't want it to be too thick. And what I like to do to just enhance the flavor a little bit is add just a dash of honey to sweeten it up. Nice and thin, and it will drizzle perfectly into the pork. Okay, so we can put that aside. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, baby, look at that. It's got a nice crispiness on it. I just wanted to show you for demonstration, but if you really want to crisp it up everywhere and just have a nice crispy crust, cook it at 350 for like 45 minutes and on convection bake so it evenly coats. I want to take this skin off, so let's just see how tender this baby really is. Here's a bone. Look at that. Comes right off. And so really quickly, I'm just going to shave off this skin just so I can put it aside for chicharrone. Pork skin aside for chicharrone, and now I'm gonna get a platter. Look how tender that is. That is why you wanna always roast with bone on, because it just comes right off. The marrow and the bone give so much flavor. Look at that. There's some pretty fatty pieces, so you wanna just be mindful of that. And so I'm just breaking that up. Okay. All right, so we got just about all of it. Take a look at that. Sauce looking real nice. Drizzle it right over. We can, if you want, you could toss it in there. Let's get a taste of this. Oh, that is good, man. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Also, comment down below. We'd love to hear your feedback and we will respond. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss an upload. We now have videos 4 times a week. With that being said, I'll see you guys Friday. Stay safe.